Dallas-Fort Worth area. Good thing we got a roof at Globe Life Field. Welcome to Major League Baseball International's special presentation of the 2023 World Series. It's Game 2, the National League pennant winners, the Arizona Diamondbacks against the AL champion Texas Rangers. The Rangers took Game 1 in dramatic fashion last night, so they lead this best-of-7 1-0. Hi everybody, Dave Fleming, Ryan Spilward. Great to have you with us. And Spilly, look, I know last night was a gut punch for the Diamondbacks. What a tough loss. They were 2 outs away from grabbing the series lead. They should take solace, though, that this series feels very evenly matched. It does feel very evenly matched. It was a gut punch for the Diamondbacks, no question about it. But a lot of the players are saying, you know what, we've gone through tough stretches before and after, and you know what motivation is? It's the next game. And for this Diamondbacks team, they have Merrill Kelly on the mound, who has pitched through some tough times, and he's a perfect guy for Game 2. And it does feel like yesterday, in that we got a really nice starting pitching matchup, exactly what you want in a World Series game. Kelly for the D-backs and Jordan Montgomery for the Rangers. Well, as you're watching Jordan Montgomery, it's a really unique combination. Sinker, curveball from a very high release point. It's going to be difficult for the Diamondbacks to score. It almost feels as if this game is going to come down to some timely hits and some high caliber quality defense. Couple changes for the Diamondbacks, one in particular, and they've been doing this through the playoffs as we take a look at the Arizona starting lineup. Ketel Marte flips into that top spot in the order. Corbin Carroll will bat second. Moreno, Walker, Tommy Pham, Lourdes Gurriel. Alec Thomas, who hasn't always been playing against lefty starters in the playoffs. He's in there again in center field. Longoria at third. Geraldo Perdomo had a nice Game 1. He's at shortstop. And batting ninth, they have the extra position player on their World Series roster. 5 players available for Torey Lovullo on the bench. And you talked about the guy that they will face. Man, has he turned into a star. This is a guy who's had a solid career, but has really blossomed in the last year, and especially here in this last month. It's funny to think of the last 2 organizations that Jordan Montgomery has been in. He was with the Yankees. They didn't see him on a postseason roster. The Cardinals moved him halfway through this season. It was a nice acquisition at the trade deadline for Chris Young and the Texas Rangers. And this postseason, it's basically been Nate the Great and Jordan Montgomery. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. The sinker, really difficult for right-handed hitters to hit. The curveball, it's really unique. It's dropping almost more than any pitch in Major League Baseball. And for the big left-hander, he's 6'6". So imagine this high release point and how much the ball is breaking down. As a hitter, you want to get him up, but it's really difficult to square him up. There's a lot of ground ball outs when Montgomery's on the mound. He's just become a guy who seems immune to the pressures of the big stage. And on a Texas Rangers team where the starting rotation has been in flux in the second half of the year, he has been a savior. So here we go, Game 2. The Rangers trying to take a 2-0 lead. The Diamondbacks trying to even this series up before the series shifts to the desert. We'll be in Phoenix a couple nights from now for Game 3. From Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, Jordan Montgomery against Ketel Marte, the switch hitter. Bat right-handed against the lefty. First pitch of the game is put in play. On the ground is short. Backhanded by Seager. His throw is right there, and Marte on 1 pitch is the first out of the night. Well, how about a first pitch curveball to start the game that gives you an idea of how Jordan Montgomery was thinking, assuming Ketel Marte is going to swing at a first pitch. That's not the traditional leadoff type of a bat you want. You want to see a couple more pitches. But we're already into game 2, and you're thinking back and forth. So now Corbin Carroll 1 out, left on left against Montgomery with the corner infielders pinched in. Carroll's got blazing speed, and he aggressively goes after the first pitch. Fouls it straight back. Diamondbacks are undefeated in the playoffs in games where Marte does hit leadoff, and it's such a big first out because he can be a huge weapon to get the offense started against left-handed pitching. 0-1 to Carroll, and it's taken for a ball. Corbin Carroll, on the other hand, young, blossoming superstar. I think, Spilly, it could be within a year or 2, we could be talking about Corbin Carroll as, if not the best, one of the best players in the game. But he is not quite as effective, at least not at this point in his career, left on left. It's still not bad, though. I mean, 283 batting average
against lefties, left on left, 286 during the regular season, so he's pretty even, but it's the slugging percentage. It's not quite, he does not slug as well against lefties.
Just turned 23 years old a few weeks ago. Had a fastball to hit there and fouled it back. It's 2-2.
Montgomery's really hard on left-handed hitters. It's just hard to pick up the baseball. But you're looking for some Elvis. Well, he's apparently him and the Elvis guys are in the building.
Thank goodness. I didn't think we could start this game without him. 2-2. Carroll takes low. The one thing about Carroll, okay, he's not going to hit for as much power against lefties. If he gets on base with his speed, he can turn that into an extra base hit. So you figure this needs to be a strike. They do not want to walk Corbin Carroll. 3-2 pitch. Carroll on the ground softly towards second. Marcus Semien charges. Got him. 2 down.
Well, think about this. As a left-handed hitter, you're facing Jordan Montgomery. You're trying to tunnel things. As a right-handed hitter, a little bit easier to see the sinker and the curveball. But if you're left on left, notice how much time it took to pick up the curveball. So that's why he's so difficult left on left, and a little bit easier from the right side. And the Diamondbacks right-handed hitters are going to be the ones that are going to be the big keys for tonight.
You just have a better chance from this side of the plate to pick up which of those two main weapons is coming a little earlier. Gabriel Moreno, youngest catcher to start for a World Series team since Buster Posey back in 2010. He's been a great young player for the D-backs. Ahead of the count 1-0. Here's a strike from Montgomery. Got a little success against Jordan Montgomery in his young career. Montgomery faced the Diamondbacks twice this year, once with the Rangers, once with the Cardinals before he got traded here. Just missed with that one. It's ball 2.
Right at the edge of the strike zone, almost a little bit of a cut to the changeup.
Right in the count 2-1. Moreno, who does have some power. It's amazing. He did not one time in the regular season hit third.
Isn't that amazing?
Now 2 games in a row in the World Series, he's their third place hitter. Good hitters count here. Montgomery 3-1. Moreno took a good cut but fouled it back. It's 3-2. The first start did not go well. I mean, you really, if you go start by start, it could be the case that his 2 appearances against the Diamondbacks were his worst start of the year and his best start of the year. That's kind of strange. 3-2. Moreno, another foul. Something about this Rangers uniform, though. Man, has he been good since coming to Texas.
Well, he has really good defense behind him now, and for somebody that gets close to 50% of balls in play on the ground, he's benefited from them.
Another 3-2 to Moreno. He pops it up, way up there with that roof as the backdrop. Marcus Semien calling everybody off, and he's got it for out number 3. Marte, Carroll, Moreno go down in order against Jordan Montgomery. Merrill Kelly will take them out for the D-backs when we come back to Arlington, Texas. First inning, and here's what the Texas Rangers lineup looks like, and it looks exactly like it did for game 1. Marcus Semien hitting leadoff, the second baseman, the Iron Man for the Rangers. Corey Seager at shortstop, one of the heroes last night. Evan Carter, Adolis Garcia, what a playoffs he's having, has just been a superstar. Garver at DH, Heim at catcher, Nathaniel Lowe at first base, Josh Young at third, and Leody Taveras. A couple big times on base last night from the 9 spot against a guy who doesn't have overwhelming velocity and stuff, but man, can Merrill Kelly be good.
Well, and for Merrill Kelly, the biggest key for him tonight is changeup. He has to use it. It's one of the better changeups in Major League Baseball. For Zach Gallen last night, once he settled into the game, he was using changeup against the Rangers offense.
His first pitch to Semien is a very low strike call by the home plate umpire, Quinn Wolcott. So it's 0-1 to Simeon, who's not had a great playoffs with the bat. Swings right through that fastball. It's 0-2. You mentioned at least the possibility of fatigue for Marcus Simeon. You go back to the start of 2018. He's played 159 games out of a possible 859 out of a possible 870 games his teams have played. I mean, he has just every single day been in there year after year.
Modern day Iron Man.
Outside, it's 2-2. Fourth player to lead the league in games played for 4 straight full seasons in the last 45 years.
Isn't that amazing? Dale Murphy, borderline Hall of Famer Juan Pierre, one of the greats.
And of course, Cal. 2-2. He spoils it foul. Just barely got a piece of that one. That's that firm changeup. It's interesting to me how Merrill Kelly, the separation between fastball and changeup by big league standards is minuscule. It's not a big velocity difference between his changeup and the fastball.
Usually you want to be 8 to 10 miles an hour. It's only 4.
2-2. Another foul ball on what looked like another changeup.
But what his changeup does, it has that vertical drop. So it really serves how he pronates his hand to create that movement straight down.
So 7th pitch of this at bat to start the game for the Rangers offense on the way. Simeon strikes out. Could not hold up this time. And that was the slider for out number 1.
Merrill Kelly's a pitcher. He went overseas for 3 years and pitched in Korea. When he came back, he had command of the strike zone. He is truly an elite strike thrower with multiple pitches. It takes 2 hands to call a game for Merrill Kelly. Luckily, pitch count, there's just a bunch of buttons. But the changeup, 180 batting average against it.
StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Here's Corey Seager hitting second. Corey Seager, another huge swing of the bat for the Rangers last night. The home run. They were down to their final 2 outs, down 2 runs, and he tied it. This time he hits a pop-up to shallow center. Perdomo from short, 2 down.
Well, how about win expectancy, which is really fun if you pay attention to any baseball savant or fan graphs. There's a win expectancy based on the runs and how many outs are remaining. Last night, before Seager hit the home run, it was 11%. And then 58% after he hit it. It went up.
If you like that graph where you show the little spikes, it was a big spike after that swing. Here's the 21-year-old Evan Carter hitting in the 3 spot once again against Merrill Kelly, taking strike 1. Carter hit a double in the first inning of game 1 last night, part of a 2-run first inning for the Rangers. Got off to such a quick start. And after that, their offense was really contained until the 9th inning. Carter's got a lot of ability. His number 1 ability right now, as a young player, might be just commanding that strike zone. Back. Merrill Kelly used his own pitch com there to call his own pitch. Something you can do these days. Youngest players to hit 3rd in the history of the World Series. Now that's the company you want to keep. Mickey Mantle, Evan Carter, Joe DiMaggio.
Wild.
That is amazing. 2 of the true all-time greats, and this kid has played like one.
Yeah, and you have no idea what the end of it's going to look like.
I mean, those guys, at least Mantle and DiMaggio, had spent more time in the big leagues before the World Series. Evan Carter just got called up. That is strike 3, a fastball perfectly located, and a very strong beginning for Merrill Kelly. So both pitchers retire the sides in order in the first. On to the second we go. 0-0 D-backs Rangers. For the game, the ceremonial first pitch to the all-time great Rangers. Fergie Jenkins, the Hall of Famer, and I think I can go out on a limb and say the soon-to-be Hall of Famer Adrian Beltre, one of the great third basemen in the history of the game. And Adrian, he had a great arm. Expect nothing different. He and Fergie. This franchise, the Texas Rangers, have been around here in Texas. The franchise started as the second version of the Washington Senators back in 1961. They've been in Texas for 51 years, and they're one of 6 teams in the big leagues that has never won a World Series. They're 3 wins away from their first. No score, top of the second here in Arlington. They've had a lot of great players.
They've had plenty of great players, and they've been really close.
Agonizingly close. Christian Walker takes a strike from Jordan Montgomery. Guy that the Arizona Diamondbacks, Billy, absolutely have to get going. He's their cleanup hitter, home run leader in the regular season. He is in the midst of a big-time funk. On the ground towards short. Seager's got it. One away.
That was a challenge earlier today. I was questioning Torey Lovullo, are you willing to move Christian Walker down in the lineup? And Torey responded, I sat Tommy Pham down earlier in the postseason, and Pham told him, listen, I'm 1 at bat away from getting going. Christian Walker said the same thing. So you have this kind of rub. Right now, Walker is a black hole in the middle of the lineup.
He's making it tough on the Diamondbacks. You got the power at the top and the dynamism, but Christian Walker, they lean on him, and he's just not producing. You hate to single out one player, but he's 7 for his last 50, and that goes back to the end of the regular season, not just the playoffs. Tommy Pham, meanwhile, hit a home run in game 1. DH again here. A little dribbler, going to be a tough play for Young. Bare hand. Young throws late. Tommy Pham's got himself an infield hit. First base runner of the game.
He'll take a base runner any way you can get it. Josh Young is fantastic. Has shortstop skill set at third base. It's the reason why Corey Seager at short is so good. Is because he has a guy next to him that goes and grabs everything. It looked like Adrian Beltre for a second.
He would be proud of that effort. Beltre was here tonight. Of course, we just showed him throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. Strike 1. The low strike again. Quinn Wolcott, who's behind home plate for game 2, is known as a guy, if you look at all the umpire rating sheets and score systems, extremely accurate to the what we might call the StatCast rule book strike zone. 0-1 on the ground to second, could be 2. There's 1, there's 2. Montgomery gets the ground ball. Rangers turn the double play. And the infield hit is almost immediately erased. Guess who's coming up to lead off for Texas after their defense, which has shined all year? Adolis Garcia. When we come back for the bottom of the second, no score. For Adolis Garcia, the Rangers have done that a lot this postseason. Celebrated his incredible offensive performance. It's been amazing. He's hit a home run in 5 straight games. He's got 8 in the playoffs. Oh, and by the way, the base hit he had in the first inning to drive in a run last night, the hardest hit ball in the World Series, any kind of hit in the StatCast era. Hardest hit ball. Merrill Kelly, first pitch of the inning, took a while to get the one he wanted to Adolis Garcia, and he wanted to throw a fastball right out over the plate. Sometimes you wonder whether all those shakeoffs are just for show.
A lot of it's for show. They're using the pitch clock.
Big chopper to third. Evan Longoria makes the play to first. So Garcia, no heroics this time. He's out number 1.
Well, pay attention to Merrill Kelly, who as you're watching him, he's really kind of manipulating the time. You'll see him peak. You see a lot of these pitchers when they're standing on the mound, you see them looking out of the corner of the eye. They're not looking at a coach. They're looking at the pitch timer to know how much time they have because they're trying to milk it.
And then they might speed up the tempo. Next pitch or next sequence. Merrill Kelly uses all of that stuff to try to interrupt the timing of the hitters that he faces. Mitch Garver, the DH, had a big walk with the bases loaded in last night's game 1. Swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Our ump cam.
What a great visual of the changeup. This last one comes out of the hand. You think you're going to hit it, and then the bottom just falls completely out.
0-2. Dirt.
I think when you see the umpire cam and you sit at home, you're like, why didn't he just hit that pitch? Why didn't he just throw his hands and go with it?
The 1-2. Garver kind of got tied up and hits a pop-up. It'll be the veteran to call off the youngster. Longoria wanted that one. 2 down. They are a good defensive team, these Diamondbacks.
Well, around the horn, you start thinking about the Gold Glove finalists. You have Christian Walker at first base with anchors the infield. You have Alek Thomas in center field with Lourdes Gurriel on left and Corbin Carroll on right. It is a fast outfield. There's a reason this Texas Rangers Globe Life Field's a big outfield, so that's why Torey Lovullo kind of leaned towards more of a defensive unit tonight.
It is a big part of the story. Jonah Heim cranks the very first pitch of this at bat to the deepest part of the ballpark, and Alek Thomas is there for out number 3. We got a pitcher's duel, at least in the early innings here in Arlington, Texas. Jordan Montgomery, inning number 3, no score. Let's take a look, Spilly, at the Texas Rangers defense. Another really good defensive team.
Well, both these teams had a .990 fielding percentage. That's tied for first in Major League Baseball. Evan Carter's in left field. Leodis Taveras, possible Gold Glover down the road in center. Adolis Garcia is as good of a right fielder as there is in the sport. And then an infield that's just locked down. Josh Young, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Nathaniel Lowe, and Jonah Heim. It's wide for Jordan Montgomery why we've seen some of these big numbers second half of the Texas Rangers. It's because he has such a sterling defense that he just has to throw strikes.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy knows that's a big part of his team's success, and it gives his pitchers more confidence. It's true on both sides. Fewest errors of any team in the American League, these Rangers. As we go to the third, Alek Thomas left on left, and he pulls a base hit into right field. Not waiting around. Alek Thomas, who hasn't been playing a lot in the playoffs against lefties. We talked about the decision. Torey Lovullo wanted the defense with Merrill Kelly on the mound, and now he's got a little bonus.
Yeah, you hope to get a little bit of a reward, so he just sells out on a fastball, gets it inside. Thomas handles fastball inside much better than he does pitches away. This is a former Chicago, Illinois superstar when it came to football.
This would be interesting. Montgomery usually pretty good at limiting the running game, limiting attempts more than getting outs. Longoria bunts, so no chance for Thomas to try to steal. Longoria decides to move him up. The sacrifice bunt has a runner in scoring position. Diamondbacks have a chance to grab the early lead.
I love the play because there's a risk reward. The risk is you pop up to Jordan Montgomery. The reward is it's possibly a hit. And worst case scenario, you get it down, you move him up 90 feet. You stay out of a double play.
That was a pretty good bunt. So Longoria sets it up for Perdomo. Takes a strike. Maybe with a righty on the mound. Maybe you give Thomas a pitch or two to see if he can steal his way himself into scoring position. And with the lefty, you decide, well, he's probably not going to go against Montgomery, so I'll get him over. Perdomo looked like he might bunt, and he takes a strike right on the inside corner. It's 0-2.
Well, Perdomo this season much better hitter left-handed than he is right-handed. Bochy opted a couple times last night, trying to flip it to get Perdomo to hit right-handed, also knowing that he had Corbin Carroll as a leadoff hitter a night ago.
0-2. Very high. Perdomo, look, he's not going to hit for a ton of power, but he takes a lot of pitches, draws some walks, plays solid shortstop defense. He's had a good postseason. Thomas at second. And now they're going to actually make the throw, not just a bluff move. They make the throw. Semien over to cover, and Thomas got back safely. You want to know when the last sacrifice bunt for Evan Longoria was?
When?
2014.
Hey, the World Series makes people do some crazy stuff. They wear banana outfits and Elvis costumes.
Longo, we waited 9 years to see that. On the ground. This is going to be a tough play. Seager on the backhand. Got him. I know Corey Seager doesn't get a ton of credit for his defense. That was a nice play.
Well, there's so much going on. First off, Alek Thomas is running right in front of Corey Seager. If there would have been one hesitation from Seager, he doesn't get Perdomo out at first. Check this out. Thomas is dancing. He starts moving. This ball's right in front of him. He runs in front of Josh Young. Corey Seager spends no time wasting looking at Alek Thomas and records the out.
Marte gets an at bat here, though, with a runner in third and 2 down. No score, third inning. Strike one. Another first pitch strike. I think part of the reason why you're seeing the Diamondbacks be pretty aggressive at the plate is Montgomery's just pumping strikes. You can almost count on a first pitch strike is coming. Marte's got the long postseason hit streak. He's never had a playoff game in his career where he hasn't had at least one hit. Change up low for a ball. He has tied the all-time longest postseason hit streak for anybody. It's the only one where those were the first 17 games all those players played. Marte to center field. Not this time. Taveras underneath it. Out number 3. Leadoff hit. Sack bunt. But Jordan Montgomery gets through it. And gets through maybe the hottest Diamondbacks hitter to keep the game scoreless midway through 4 in 2001. The only other World Series the Diamondbacks have ever played in, plus Game 5. Incredible scenes in New York. Game-tying home runs and then walk-off wins for the Yankees 2 games in a row. So what happens last night? Game-tying 9th inning home run Corey Seager, walk-off home run Adolis Garcia. The last 3 road World Series games that this Diamondbacks franchise has played.
Isn't that amazing? And history oftentimes repeats itself. George Bush, president, threw out the first pitch in that 2001 game with the walk-off. He threw it out last night.
Seems a little cruel for Diamondbacks. And of course, the solace for Diamondbacks fans is that they went on to win that 2001 World Series in 7 games in very memorable fashion. So 1 gut punch, even 2, doesn't necessarily decide a series. Nathaniel Lowe for the Rangers leading off here. A rare first pitch ball. And then a change up, top foul by Lowe. It's 1-1. Nothing game, last of the 3rd. Rangers still looking for their first base runner against Merrill Kelly. Ball. Just missing. You kind of like that ump cam, don't you?
I really do. It almost puts you back in the batter's box.
Two-1 from Kelly. Continue hitting.
I don't want to now after it's the last pitch. And these guys, the margin for error with the swing is what makes these hitters so elite. So they have swings that are on time, but that have enough distance to cover multiple pitches.
Still 2-2.
Yeah, it's like having good graces with the wife. If you're not late too often, she'll say, okay, you can be late once or twice. With a good swing, if you have a good swing, you can be late once or twice and still hit the baseball.
Lowe is fighting for his life here in a 2-ball 2-strike count. This will be the 7th pitch of the sequence coming up. Merrill Kelly not only had retired the first 6 hitters, but he done so very quickly. So this is a long at bat for Lowe. Got it. Strike 3 called right on the outside.
Kelly has 3 strikeouts now, 2 caught looking, and both to lefties. Evan Carter now, Nathaniel Lowe. A little bit of a cut to that fastball. Notice how it starts on the outer edge, and then it works its way back.
Lowe just gave up on it, and then it was right there. So 1 out. Here's Josh Young, the young third baseman. Very low strike that time. Merrill Kelly's thinking, I can work with this zone. And give his catcher some credit too. Moreno's a good pitch framer. Both these catchers are.
A lot of catchers in recent years have gone down to one knee down. Now, why is that important? It allows you to get to a lower crouch and you work ground up to steal those low strikes.
That's what Moreno does. Really, it is the whole idea of using the one knee down approach as a catcher is for the low pitch. And especially the young guys like Moreno, I think they're very comfortable. They've sort of developed coming up through the minor leagues using that technique. 2-1. Young pulls that one down the left field line. It's hooking though. Foul. One thing Torey Lovullo told us before the game is he was embarrassed by 10 walks. Diamondbacks issued 10 walks last night. Rangers issued 1. That's a massive discrepancy. And he said, we are going to clean that. We are going to throw strikes tonight. So far, promise upheld. 2-2. First 3-ball count of the game. Here to the rookie Young.
And not all of it is just poor pitching performance from the Diamondbacks. Some of it is human. I mean, you have human emotions. You're playing in Game 1 of the World Series.
Facing a team that doesn't chase. 3-2 on the ground to short. Perdomo's got it. 2 down. A little high throw, but Walker kept his foot on the bag. Gabriel Moreno has made such a big difference for the Diamondbacks. Caught stealing percentage much higher than all the other catchers. Defensive runs saved way higher. Much better ERA when he's behind the plate. And it's not a coincidence that the win-loss record, there's just a huge difference between when you have Moreno back there. No disrespect to everybody else, but all the other Diamondbacks catchers. There's Tavares, strike 1.
Well, I have never seen a poor catcher on a championship caliber team. It just doesn't happen.
0-1 pitch. Really, you think about the history of the game, whether it's Yogi Berra or Johnny Bench or recently Posey, Molina, the best catchers through history have often been huge winners. Also a good ball blocker, one of the best in the game. So it's not just pitch framing. He's got a strong arm. 0-2 to Tavares. Got it with the changeup. Merrill Kelly, 3 perfect innings, 4 strikeouts. And I think he knows he's got to match Jordan Montgomery as well as the Rangers lefty is pitching. We'll go to the 4th. A 0-0 World Series game. Maybe the biggest hit for the Diamondbacks in last night's Game 1. And man, can he fly. It is so fun when he hits one into the gap to watch him run, hit his max sprint speed coming around second base. Almost 30 feet per second. Elite sprint speed for the best rookie in the game this year.
No question. I mean, the fact that he hit 25 home runs and 54 stolen bases, and it's not just, you know, the speed, it's how he uses it. It's first to third, it's infield reads. We saw one last night. There's a ground ball hit hard to Nathaniel Lowe. He scores. So it's the small nuance that he's been paying attention to make himself the best base runner in Major League Baseball.
He leads off against Montgomery, swings at the first pitch, and hits a fly ball, shallow left center, and it'll be the shortstop Seager. Tavares is playing fairly deep there. Maybe got a little bit of a late break, so Seager took care of it himself. 1 away.
Well, Jordan Montgomery continues to pound the strike zone. He has been ahead of virtually every single Diamondbacks hitter.
He hasn't gotten a single swing and miss in this game yet. Not one. And yet, almost no hard contact, giving up a couple singles, no runs. Here's Moreno. Takes a ball.
Well, and that's interesting too, Dave, because Montgomery has close to a 40% whiff rate on 2 of his secondary pitches, changeup and curveball. And that's elite.
Strike 1 to Moreno. Just right on the outside corner. Diamondbacks have the only 2 hits in the game. Tommy Pham an infield hit. Alec Thomas a leadoff single in the 3rd. Now it's 1-2.
Continuing on with Jordan Montgomery, I mean, players joke. Montgomery, free agent this offseason, he might as well just back the Brinks truck right up to his house.
He's made himself a lot of money in the last month. A lot. He was already going to sign a big contract. I mean, if he helps lead the Rangers to a World Series championship, it's going to be hard for Texas not to say, we can't let this guy go. Throwing a little bit harder in the postseason. Here's the 2-2.
Well, I love the last graphic because it goes to show you he has an elite sinker with the curveball. That mix is very similar to Framber Valdez, who's been really good in Houston for a couple of years, but he's also using a 4-seam fastball. Part of the reason why is just to throw a hitter's eye off enough to make the curveball and sinker that much better.
And it's interesting. He's using it more, and it's, I guess, they go hand in hand. It's been more effective, so why not throw it a little more? Bounces that one in. Full count 3-2. Christian Walker on deck, and then Tommy Pham due up after that. Diamondbacks and Rangers kind of figured it was going to be this kind of game. Mike Maddox, the Texas pitching coach, who maybe has helped just fine-tune Montgomery. Long pause, 3-2. Fouled away.
Both Merrill Kelly and Montgomery are using the extremes of the pitch clock. They're able to pitch fast with it, speed up your tempo, maybe throw a changeup off of it, or wait till the very last second.
He's got a lot of quick outs already tonight, but not this time against Moreno. I'm going to work hard. Moreno out to left center field and well hit. Taveras tracking it all the way to the wall. It is gone. Moreno with the solo home run to put the Diamondbacks on the board. His 4th of these playoffs. It's 1-0 Arizona. What a great at bat that was.
I mean, to imagine this kid was not even hitting 3rd in the regular season in the Diamondbacks lineup come the World Series, and here's a new star. Talk about his defensive abilities. Now the catcher, now for him to just square up a pitch after a lengthy at bat and give the Diamondbacks a lead, that's huge.
You got to hit one to that part of the yard. That's 413 feet to get it over that 7-foot-high wall. Now Walker, fair ball. Young diving stab, gets up and throws him out. What a play. Christian Walker just cannot believe it. He's in this incredible slump. He hits a ball that off the bat I know he was sure was going to be a hit and was probably thinking extra bases.
Well, that is such great range, such quick footwork. This immediately after giving up the home run, so you might see a little bit of a lull from a defense, but not from Josh Young.
That was a terrific play. 101 miles an hour off the bat, and he got to it. Now Pham squirts one by the first baseman low down the right field line. Tommy Pham is going to go for second. It took Garcia a while to get the ball in the corner, so no play at second base. That's a 2-out double for the DH Tommy Pham.
Well, it's unfortunate for Josh Young. I mean, for Christian Walker, he gets a double stolen from him, hit hard, and then Tommy Pham just sneaks one past him.
Yeah, Christian Walker's thinking this game is not fair.
For Gabby Moreno, he just got a fastball up and in. And he's rattlesnake quick inside. Diamondbacks are 6-0 this postseason when they score first.
It's a good sign for them. They're on the board. All 4 of those playoff home runs for Gabby Moreno. 2-strike home runs in the playoffs. Teams that out-homer their opponents in this postseason all rounds, 22-4 coming into tonight. It's pretty good predictor of winning a game if you hit more home runs than your opponent. Gurriel kind of flips one into shallow left field. That's going to be a base hit. Coming around third, Pham. Here comes a throw from Carter. It's cut off. They'll throw behind Gurriel, but he gets back safely. 2-0 Diamondbacks. Aggressive swinging from the Arizona hitters here in the 4th inning after that home run by Moreno. And they've got 2 on the board now.
Oh, you're right. I mean, quickly you get the home run. It's a first pitch swing for Walker, first pitch swing from Tommy Pham, then 2 pitches later to Gurriel. He just dumps it right in front of Evan Carter. Carter's a really good-looking left fielder, but nothing that they could do to get Tommy Pham at home.
Gurriel, he is a good 2-out, 2-strike even, although that wasn't 2 strikes, kind of hitter. He can get the barrel of the bat to the ball, even when he doesn't hit a 100-mile-an-hour line drive. With 2 outs, he's 8 for 17 in the playoffs, Lourdes Gurriel. Now that's a big hit right there. A mound visit, and now Montgomery trying to get through this 4th. Diamondbacks have scored twice. Thomas, who jumped on the first pitch fastball in his first at bat and pulled a base hit into right field. Takes the breaking ball. That one called a ball. Didn't get the low strike that time. Ha! 1-1. Diamondbacks undefeated when scoring first in these playoffs. And look, it's not a real surprise, but 760 winning percentage if you score first. Hard hit right to first. Low steps on the bag, side retired, but not before the Diamondbacks get 2 on the board. The rookie catcher Gabriel Moreno takes Jordan Montgomery deep. Tommy Pham followed that up with a double. Gurriel knocked him in midway through 4. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks.
He's giving the Snakes exactly what they need. 36 pitches, 26 strikes. Already has 4 strikeouts for the first 9 batters. He's using his changeup, his fastball, his cutter, and his slider. Gives you an idea. If you're trying to contend against Merrill Kelly, you have to look middle, have to hit strikes. But right now, he's on his game.
Yeah, this will be interesting now on both sides because this is the 2nd time through. He is not allowed a base runner. 3 up, 3 down for 3 straight innings. So the Rangers turn their lineup over, now trailing 2-0. Not only to see if the hitters make adjustments, but to see if the pitch mix changes from Merrill Kelly. You talked about he's got so many weapons.
6 different pitches. Well, 2nd time through the lineup during the regular season. Batting average does jump up about 20 points.
Semien to left. Gurriel looks like he's got room. He'll square up right at the edge of the warning track. Out number 1.
Now Semien's just trying to get closer and closer. He's hit a lot of balls hard. Some of the expected batting averages, I don't know if you care about that. Ultimately, you care more about what your actual batting average is, but he has been hitting the ball hard. Just has nothing to show for it.
It's 10 in a row retired by Merrill Kelly to start this game. Now Corey Seager with 1 out and nobody on from the windup. Seager goes after the first pitch to center field. There's Alek Thomas, 2 down. If you think back to his last start, Merrill Kelly pitched a must-win game, elimination game for the D-backs, Game 6, the incredible scene in Philadelphia. Everybody assumed it was going to be clinch night for the Phillies. They were going to come back home in front of their crowd and demolish the Diamondbacks. And Kelly pitched really well, but he got taken out after 5. Carter fouls the first pitch away, and he wasn't real happy about it. He just threw his 40th pitch of the game here tonight. Now, something could change, but he's on track to go a little deeper in this game.
He should, especially given how much the Diamondbacks need some length tonight.
A little flip shot, center field, base hit. Here's the first one for the Rangers. First hit, first base runner. It comes from the 21-year-old Evan Carter.
This kid's something else. Evan Carter, 21 years old, turned 21 in August, late August. Came to the Rangers in September, and Max Scherzer named him the Savior.
He gets on base in front of Adolis Garcia. He's been on base, Evan Carter has, in every playoff game so far for the Rangers. All of them. And he's really fast. That might not mean he's going to try to steal. In fact, Moreno backpicked him, threw behind him. He got back safely. Garcia grounded out to third back in the second inning. 8 playoff home runs. He's homered in 5 games in a row. That one out to right center. Room though for Corbin Carroll. He's got it, and the inning is over. First hit, first base runner for the Rangers, but Garcia's 0 for 2. Merrill Kelly shaking his head through 4. Pretty darn good. Gosh, last night when the Seager home run went out and when the Garcia home run went out, this Texas crowd was so loud. But so far, Merrill Kelly's quieted them down. Jordan Montgomery was off to a great start, but the D-backs got 2 runs against him in the 4th. Kelly's given up 1 base runner in 4 scoreless innings. And we go to the 5th. Evan Longoria against the lefty. Takes a ball.
Pretty amazing for Jordan Montgomery's last 9 games, 8 starts, because he did have a game of relief this last week. I mean, he's 5-0 with a 1.38 ERA.
It was the only question about him pitching here game 2. That was a ball. Another curveball. It's 2-0, and that he did have to pitch in game 7, pitch 2 1/3 innings. And even though he got the 5 days of rest before tonight, they just wanted to check in and make sure he bounced back okay from that. Pitched 3 out of the 7 games in the ALCS and was great against the Astros. He's fall behind though. Evan Longoria 3-0. Longo had a hit in last night's game. Played in the World Series as a rookie in 2008. He waited 5,748 days to get another World Series hit. That's a long wait.
That's a really long wait. I'm sure he would have it under. He probably would like it to be a lot shorter than that.
Yeah.
But we also saw Longo drop his first sacrifice bunt since 2014.
Let's turn back the clock week for Longo. Hits that one hard, but on the ground is short, and Seager had him played perfectly. 1 out.
I think as you're watching that last ground ball to Seager, another reason why both the Diamondbacks and the Rangers have such great defense is they play on the same carpet. It's artificial turf. You don't get a lot of bad hops at this field. It's perfectly manicured.
It's been a long time since we've had a World Series where both home fields had artificial surface. And it's not the old style artificial turf where you hit a 2-hopper and it goes to the wall because it just keeps skipping and bouncing. This is designed to play like grass, but I think it's a good point you make. There's no imperfections out there. Maybe every once in a while you might hit a seam, something like that. On the ground, foul for Perdomo. It's 0-2. Leadoff hitter Ketel Marte on deck. 1 out, top 5. Diamondbacks with the 2-0 lead. Perdomo. Did he go? No.
This is almost the closest it's been to a swing and miss for Montgomery. He hasn't had one yet.
He actually got credit for one on the first pitch because it was ruled a swing by Perdomo. So that first pitch of this at bat, he got credit for one. So he has one. I think your point still stands, though. Well, that's it. Perdomo stays alive. Went down to get the curveball that was way down.
So a couple numbers sticking out for Jordan Montgomery, just getting into some of the baseball savant. Curveball velocity's down 2 miles an hour, and the spin on his curveball tonight is down.
1-2. I think that would lead to fewer swings and misses.
Not quite spinning it quite as well as you were earlier in the postseason. Could be fatigue.
Perdomo right back up the middle, base hit. 9 for his last 19 from the 9 spot. Geraldo Perdomo continues to help the D-backs offense. That was a really determined at bat for Perdomo.
I think that's a separator for both these teams as you get in deeper and deeper into the postseason. It's what can your 7, 8, 9 hitters do to create traffic to get to the top of the lineup.
Third at bat for Ketel Marte. Perdomo over at first with 1 out. Marte to center, not deep. Semien going out from second, and he'll get there to make the catch. Good play by Marcus Semien. I think Taveras was going to make it, but it wasn't a sure thing.
Probably the scariest play for a second baseman or any sort of middle infielder in an outfield is that in-between fly ball where you have to have complete trust in your outfielder that he's not going to run into your middle infielder. There's Semien. He is sold out. I mean, he's completely vulnerable. It's like a safety hitting a wide receiver if he ended up colliding.
Good job by Taveras to back off. Here's Corbin Carroll. On the outside, strike 1 called. Rangers have Dane Dunning up in the bullpen now. Got the pitcher friendly strike to start the at bat against Carroll. Ketel Marte 0 for 3 against Montgomery. Third baseman Young playing in. 1-1. Tried to go a little farther out. Carroll would not chase. Corbin Carroll. Couple home runs, had the triple last night, driven in 8. Perdomo definitely fast enough to score on an extra base hit from first. 1-2. Good changeup there. There's Dunning.
I'm sure the Rangers are getting some of the same numbers on the stuff as we are. Just kind of pushing to get that bullpen moving.
Yep. Carroll, big chopper foul on the first base side. Dunning pitched an inning of relief in last night's game. The Rangers last night, Eovaldi, Dunning, Bradford, Gray, Smith, Leclerc. Dunning and Gray, 2 starters who've moved to the bullpen in these playoffs. Both of them pitch well. Another 1-2 to Corbin Carroll. There goes Perdomo running. Got a big jump. Pitch taken. Throw late. And there's a steal for the Diamondbacks. These running D-backs who coming into the night 3 straight playoff games with 4 steals as a team. They have their first tonight.
Well, I love it too because you know with 2 strikes, if you get thrown out, Corbin Carroll gets a lead off next inning. So this is just playing the game. Dave McKay, best first base coach in baseball when it comes to base running. He's going to tell Perdomo, go, take your chance.
2-2 in the dirt, blocked by High. That one bounced well in front of home plate. And I think probably, you see the steal numbers, amazing how quiet the running game was early in that NLCS. It's a big part of the D-backs team. And those last 2 games, the 2 D-backs wins, they were running wild, and so far same thing here in the World Series.
And they never get caught.
Yeah, they run a lot and they are successful. Now Montgomery steps off. And Jonah Heim, I think, is going to visit the mound. I think you're right. Whether it's just data that the Rangers are seeing with Montgomery, or if they're just watching the lack of sharpness. He's given up 2 runs, 6 hits. Bruce Bochy wants that bullpen ready.
Well, I mean, these guys, they see them. It's so intimate. The different movements of a player. You can tell body language of a player over the course of a year. And for Montgomery, the ball's not quite as sharp, and they know it.
You got the guy who homered against him on deck. It could be that this is the last hitter. Maddox and Bochy watching very closely. Full count, 3-2. And now Carroll asked for time. This is gamesmanship. Jordan Montgomery's good at that.
I love it when a hitter does it right back to a pitcher. Montgomery got it down to 3 seconds. Carroll was doing his little waggle. He's like, you know what? I'm going to use my timeout and just slow the big guy down.
Here's the sack. A long hold. 3-2. Carroll pops it up toward third. Young with Perdomo running right alongside him, and he noticed that, but he made the catch for out number 3. Corbin Carroll a little frustrated. Montgomery's pitched the top of the order very well. A hit, a steal, but no runs. We're midway through 5 in game 2 of this 2023 World Series. No distraction for Josh Young. Although maybe he didn't love that. It's Park. They made some nods to Rangers history. The left field foul pole with 29, Adrian Beltre. Left field seats, Nolan Ryan, 1972, when the team relocated with Ted Williams as his manager. Center field, 407 feet, number 7, Pudge Rodriguez. Out to the bullpen, 410, and they post that on the wall. Michael Young, the great Fergie Jenkins, the first Canadian in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Right field foul pole for their manager, Johnny Oates, who got into the playoffs for the first time. And then in honor of Jackie Robinson, 42 feet from home plate to the backstop. Yeah, usually you don't see numbers squeezed that close together on an outfield wall, but they wanted to make sure. Beltre, Nolan Ryan, Johnny Oates, Fergie, Michael Young, Pud Rodriguez. Some milestones in Rangers franchise history. Mitch Garver against Merrill Kelly, bottom 5, 2-0 Diamondbacks.
What a wonderful way to incorporate the pass with the nuance of a major league stadium. That's the beauty of baseball, is you don't have to have symmetry when it comes to a field.
You can do whatever you want within reason. Garver to left field and deep, and it is gone. Mitch Garver. Not quite right over Nolan Ryan's tribute number. He hit that hard. Another playoff home run for the DH Garver, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
That's exactly what the Rangers needed, just to get the fans re-engaged. And Merrill Kelly was cruising along. It was only a soft contact single off the bat of Evan Carter, but now this one loud.
Third playoff home run for Garver. Had the big grand slam in Baltimore.
I mean, you can tell. There's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball middle in, and Garver, heavy-handed, 103 miles an hour going out. 404 feet.
He's made his hits count. He hadn't had a ton of hits in the playoffs. He's got 12 runs batted in and 11 games played in the playoffs. Jonah Heim takes a ball. So Merrill Kelly, who'd only given up 1 base runner in 4 innings, now allows the run. Long way to go in this game. High. Good. After a high fastball.
I always like it when a hitter beats a pitcher to the spot. So you almost throw your hands, you throw the barrel, and you let the bat do the work.
Beautiful looking home run. Off the outside, 2-2. And he knew he had pured it right away. It's a pretty good feeling as a hitter, especially in a World Series. Still only 50 pitches for Merrill Kelly. Time on the ground. It hits the bag, and then somehow Christian Walker barehands it. What a play by the Gold Glover Christian Walker. That one was headed over his head and down the line after it hit first base. And he flipped to Kelly and got the out.
Well, this is unbelievable when you consider you're just using anything you can. And for Christian Walker, we get it. The offensive slump is there. But look, it hits the bag and just whack. Use your hand to protect it. Get the baseball. Jonah Heim can't believe it.
That was just incredible. Quick reflexes reaction from Walker, who had a hit robbed when he was at the plate by Josh Young, the third baseman. Now low to left center field. This one on its way to the wall and caught. Gurriel right up against the fence. Nathaniel Lowe, he's got power and big power to left and left center field. Just didn't get quite enough of that one.
No, he didn't, but at least it came off the bat hot for him, and maybe the next at bat might be a little bit more damage. It's still 104 off the bat for Nathaniel Lowe, and now we're watching Gurriel limping a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes when outfielders slow down, kind of feel something tweak in your foot.
That's like he jammed his ankle or his foot. Here's Young on the ground toward the hole. Diving stop by Perdomo, but he won't make a throw. And now Christian Walker's even more ticked off. Gurriel's going to try to adjust the cleat. Let's see if we can spot.
Oh yeah, there he goes. He just ran into the wall with his right foot after he made it.
An awkward step. Diamondbacks need him to be okay. He's asked for a minute to adjust that cleat. Infield hit keeps the inning going and gets the ninth place hitter to the plate, which might turn into something here. Taveras has had some big at bats for the Rangers, but at a minimum, it means the top of the order is going to come up next inning. Strike one. Got a pitcher-friendly strike there to start the at-bat to Taveras.
Well, to your point, that is a good-looking pitch. To your point, I mean, with the low pitch count, he's only at 54 pitches through the top of the next inning. If he can get the out, would they go and let him take a third time through?
It'd be interesting. That one outside. I would think yes, the way he's pitching tonight. But the at-bats, the contact's been louder this second time through, that's for sure. Bats are getting better for the Rangers as the game goes on. First, Young back safely.
Now the numbers do bear it out. Third time through the lineup league wide, hitters hit higher. They slug higher.
Two and one. A lot more pep in that. Not like the Rangers were down and out, but amazing how a couple swings and bounces back over on that Texas side. 2-1. That's a strike. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2.
I don't think Taveras is seeing the ball quite as well as he was earlier in the year. He had 14 home runs, 14 stolen bases. Big first half.
The 2-2 pitch. So many different types of movement with those different fastballs that Merrill Kelly throws.
Four seam, two seam, cut fastball, a changeup.
Diamondbacks still ahead in this game, 2-1. Little squibber off the mound. Kelly is going to make the play himself. He gets Taveras and ends the inning. Mitch Garver, though, takes him deep. And he got some help from his defense to limit the damage to just the one run. It was a loud run off the bat of the Rangers' designated hitter. A couple of home runs in this game, too.
Texas and the Stars being born. Gabby Moreno. Another home run for him in this postseason, his fourth. You talk about rattlesnake quick inside, got a fastball after a lengthy at bat. Gave the Diamondbacks the lead 1-0. Pretty impressive when you consider, especially going up against a guy like Jordan Montgomery. Really hard to square up left-handed as a right-handed hitter. I've just been really impressed by Gabby Moreno.
All the way around. They have a player they can build their franchise around. He and Corbin Carroll together as rookies for a long time. Probably not going to beat this one out, though. Jonah Heim gets him on a swinging bunt. I would say he runs well for a catcher.
He does run well for a catcher. I also like the idea from Montgomery. They go first pitch changeup, see if you can get him a little bit over aggressive.
With and without Gabriel Moreno this year, a huge difference in terms of the wins and the losses. Not saying it's all because he was in there or he wasn't, but it's undeniable how important he is to this team. So here's Christian Walker, frustrated hitter right now, to say the least. Strike one. Takes one right down the middle.
Probably hit the hardest ball he has this postseason was last at bat. Just a rocket down the third baseline that Josh Young stole a hit from him.
Pops that one up into shallow right field. And the first baseman, Nathaniel Lowe, did it a little different way. Decided to try something new. That was he got away with it, but usually you see a guy with a smile on his face after that.
Yeah, circuitous route. It's almost like he was on a merry-go-round. No, not a route that you want to take. There's a smile.
All right. All's well that ends well. 2 outs. And Tommy Pham asked for time. You can use that time before the at-bat starts, but that's your one you get. Two to 1 Diamondbacks here in the 6th. Montgomery, who we thought might have been one base runner away from coming out of the game in the 5th inning. Now trying to finish the 6th.
Low pitch count, 68 pitches on the other side. Merrill Kelly, he's at 59.
2-0. Very intense player, Tommy Pham. What'd you call him last night? Edgy?
Very edgy.
Flashes at that one. It is a fair ball. It's going to kick up against the sidewall. Garcia will play the carom. Pham's going to test him. Here comes the throw. It hits Pham and rolls away. It's a double for Tommy Pham. Garcia maybe has the strongest arm in the game in right field. So when that ball caromed out toward him, I thought he was going to have a chance. But Tommy Pham never hesitated.
Well, and you can't, especially with 2 outs. Here's your chance to just push the envelope a little bit. It's worth it. So Pham knows, you know what? Get that extra 90 feet. If I get thrown out at second, it's worth the risk. You get to second base. Now you get a chance with a base hit. You're going to opt to put on Yuli Gurriel, or Lourdes Gurriel, to put it first and second now because of what Tommy Pham did. So look at Adolis never really getting a chance to set his feet either, and still made it close.
So the intentional walk, as you indicated, Gurriel sent down to first. 2 on, 2 out. Now left on left for Alec Thomas, who has a hit already in this game. Diamondbacks, and now the pickoff play, and Tommy Pham never even slid. He got picked off of second base.
Wow.
I don't know if he thought he had a tell and could just take off. Montgomery wasn't going to look, but they had the play on, and he was out by a mile. That's a frustrating way for a good chance offensively to come to an end. The Diamondbacks with the double, but no runs.
And then lost it. Tommy Pham started hopping off, and Corey Seager, look at him pick his pocket at second base. Just a daylight play for Jordan Montgomery. As soon as he sees the glove of Seager, you spin and throw it. Mike Maddox loves it. And you talk about a momentum swing.
He never even got back to the bag. That's how much he was out. Merrill Kelly, strike one to Marcus Semien. So now let's see if that momentum carries over on this side with the top of the order up. Rangers down by a run, 2-1. Wow. Strike 2. Semien didn't like it. Most starts of 5+ innings if you include the regular season and the postseason. And the Diamondbacks have 2 of the top 3, including Merrill Kelly here tonight.
Well, how about Merrill Kelly over the course of the year? 27 out of 33 starts, he allowed 3 or fewer runs.
He's doing tonight what he does. Semien takes low, 2-2.
Well, and a lot of what he does is fill up the strike zone. He's 16 out of 19 first pitch strikes, and he's just constantly pounding it with every single pitch he has.
Strike 3 call. Got another friendly call there. Out number 1. 2 of them in that sequence.
Well, the benefit of what Merrill Kelly's doing is he's just in the strike zone. His misses are so small. Kelly will take it. He made a little face like, ooh, I'll take that.
One out for Corey Seager. Fastball down and away. 0 for 2. Seager's 0 for 2. Adolis Garcia's 0 for 2. From all the good stuff that Merrill Kelly's doing, he's getting those 2 guys out. Perfect strike there, 1-1.
They're living right on the edges, and the Diamondbacks, they kept going up and in to Corey Seager, but really his one spot in the strike zone is down and away.
Squibs that one with some weird spin on it, and it goes foul. Longoria was getting ready to kick it, I think, if he had to. For a minute, it almost looked like after it went foul, almost like it had the reverse spin to come back fair.
Yeah, dirty pull, a little cue shot. Just depending on how the seams are, they could catch a grain of this artificial turf and possibly move just like a putt.
That would have been the ultimate heat check. I mean, we know he's hot, but if that comes back and you get a hit out of it,
that's when you're swinging the magic wand.
2-2. Garcia has gotten a lot of the headlines with all the home run hitting, but Corey Seager's been on base by far the most of any player all postseason. Power, walks. Fouls out one down the left field line.
So Merrill Kelly just set up Seager. I'm curious if he's going to go to this pitch. So he just threw the 90-mile-an-hour changeup fading away. I wonder if he throws that backdoor 93-mile-an-hour cut fastball and see if he can freeze him.
Started off the outside, then tried to catch the corner. 2-2. He got him swinging. Well, he threw that pitch, and he got Seager to go after it. Chased. 2 down.
And this is pitching 101. He's start thinking about all the different areas of the strike zone that you can go. Throw that changeup, a little fade, and then just add a little bit of velocity back to it, and he can get the swing through. I mean, he's pitching his tail off. If he had a tail.
Well, that's why it's gone. He's pitched it off. 2 down. Jordan Montgomery still grinding it out with the iPad on the bench. Meanwhile, the Rangers do have the bullpen working as they hit here in the bottom of the 6th. Strike 1 to Evan Carter, who had the first Rangers hit back in the 4th inning. They've only had 3. The Garver home run for their 1 run. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks have had 7 hits, including a home run and a couple different doubles, but they only have the 2 runs. Fouled away, 1-2. It's Aroldis Chapman, who is up in the Rangers bullpen. But we'll see. He went around in the dirt. He got him to chase. 6 beautiful innings for Merrill Kelly, and he may not be done. Pitching like an ace for the Diamondbacks tonight on the biggest stage of them all. Got Marcus Semien looking, got Corey Seager swinging, and then to finish it off, he strikes out the side. Evan Carter went chasing that ball in the dirt. Merrill Kelly and the D-backs through 6 tonight, trying to even this World Series at 1 game apiece. They lead 2-1. To retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Some of the great Diamondbacks players through their history, they celebrated their 25th anniversary. It's a young franchise. It's already won a World Series. Rangers been around for a lot longer, and they've never won a World Championship. Diamondbacks here in Game 2 of this 2023 World Series. They have a 2-1 lead. Jordan Montgomery stays in the game against the lefty Thomas, who was at the plate when the 6th inning ended for the D-backs. Thomas has a hit in 2 at-bats so far tonight. Tommy Pham got picked off while he was getting ready to take his swings. Strike fastball right in there, 1-1.
We're watching Mike Maddox and Bruce Bochy talk, trying to figuring out, because they were warming up Aroldis Chapman. It's clear now Chapman was coming in a tie, or if they had the lead.
Thomas drives that one out towards right center field. Taveras chasing. He's not going to get there. 1 hop up against the wall. Thomas flying around second, and he will stop there as the ball got quickly relayed in. And with nobody out, Thomas didn't want to take a chance, but that's a double. And how about the lefty in the lineup against the left-hander? That hasn't happened for most of this postseason. That's his 2nd hit.
Well, he hit a curveball at 79 miles an hour. It stays in the middle. Also for Thomas, he's keeping his hip and his front shoulder closed. That allows him to stay in long enough to drop the barrel on it. Real nice piece of hitting. And then a smart not to take that chance and get to 3rd. He would have been thrown out.
I think it's hard for him to not try. Here's Longo. He's already put down 1 sacrifice bunt in this game. Wow, that one called the ball. Alek Thomas this year in the regular season hit .143 against left-handed pitching. And tonight in the World Series against one of the best lefties there is, he's 2 for 3. That'd be a big extra run for the D-backs here in the 7th. Hard hit, and it goes by Young into left field. Thomas will round 3rd, and he's going to score. Well, I don't know how they'll score that. They're going to give Longoria a hit. He hit it so hard, but I'm sure that Josh Young is thinking that's a play he could have and maybe should have made.
Well, a couple things. First off, Young has to play a little bit in because Longo is possibly going to bunt. So just that extra 2 or 3 steps, the ball's crushed. I mean, it's called the hot corner for a reason. I don't think there's any way that Josh Young could have made that play.
Well, that's going to be it for the starter, Jordan Montgomery. And Could be that the difference, the bunt the last time up forced Young in, took away his reaction time, and that helps the Diamondbacks add a run to their lead. So Bruce Bochy, who's probably grinding on himself a little bit, he had Chapman warmed up. He decided to go back with Montgomery, and 2 hitters later, it's another run. So it's not Chapman, it's going to be Andrew Heaney, the left-hander. We'll be back after the pitching change with the D-backs ahead 3-1. All right, the left-hander Andrew Heaney, Perdomo pushes a bunt, foul. First batter that Heaney faces out of the Rangers bullpen. Jordan Montgomery 6+ innings, but he's given up a run here in the 7th. It's 3-1. 9 hits and 3 runs so far, responsible for Longoria over at first base. So the starter Heaney, who's in the bullpen now in the playoffs, last pitched game 6 of the ALCS, pitched the 9th inning of a big win. Perdomo bunts. Heaney off the mound fields, gets him at first, but another sacrifice bunt. That's the 2nd of the game for the Diamondbacks, and nobody does that more than Geraldo Perdomo.
Well, and you'd love, I mean, there's so much to the technique of it, moving up in the batter's box, creating an angle. Last night, the Texas Rangers bullpen, they picked up 6 1/3. They didn't give up a run. They were fantastic. And for Andrew Heaney, came over here as a starter, and now he's kind of in this different role. Did start a game against the Astros, did not fare well.
That bullpen allowed 2 base runners in those 6 1/3 innings last night. Marte takes low, ball 1.
I do think Bruce Bochy second guessing himself maybe a little bit just at the start of the game, just because Jordan Montgomery's stuff wasn't quite as sharp tonight as we're accustomed to seeing. He had 2 swing and misses the entire night on any of his pitches.
Marte, big chopper to third. Young plays the bounce, throws, got him. I don't know. Diamondbacks are definitely taking a look. Close. Ketel Marte out. They're not going to challenge. They did get him.
This is a really tough play. Notice how he was shuffling his feet, waiting for that in-between hop really hard. You almost have to anticipate. Really nice job at first base from Nathaniel Lowe, too. That long stretch. Keep that glove down.
So good play by Young there, after he could not handle the ground ball that got by him to knock in the 3rd run. Here's Corbin Carroll, strike 1 with the fastball from Heaney. For 3 against the starter Montgomery. Carroll, line drive base hit into left field. Longoria coming around third. Carter's going to throw to second, and it's 4-1 Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll comes through left on left to add to the Diamondbacks lead.
I just think as you're watching Corbin Carroll, it's an unorthodox swing just because it's a big leg kick, but he's so good at keeping his front side closed. Notice how he stays closed, almost like a little ball. And then he just keeps his hands inside. What a beautiful swing. Gives you an idea just how much his body gets into his swing.
That is a big extra run. So Carroll scores the veteran Longoria. The sacrifice bunt had pushed Longoria into scoring position. Diamondbacks playing some little ball here in the 7th inning, and it's working. Now it's going to be Dunning coming in. Heaney is out. 4-1 Diamondbacks. Another pitching change. Back right after this.
SportsNet Plus.
Pitcher Dane Dunning to Gabriel Moreno. Diamondbacks have added 2 runs to their lead here in the top of the 7th. 4th appearance of the playoffs for Dunning, who's switched back and forth between relieving and starting, mostly starting in the regular season. Pitched a scoreless inning in last night's game 1. Diamondbacks trying to even this series at 1 game apiece. Corbin Carroll, I would say, Spilly, an excellent chance he's going to be going.
He should be. I mean, 54 stolen bases on the season. If you want to add the 4 stolen bases he has this postseason, he's 1 more away from getting 60, and he's hopping around at first.
Not going here. Moreno pulls it foul.
Well, now you get to 2 strikes. Go ahead and take your shot. Again, like, you run into an out right here, fine. Gabby Moreno leads off with a fresh count. So this is kind of Dave McKay's telling you, you're going no matter what. Even if you get picked off, you're fine.
Looks like he wants to go. They're going to throw over. He's quick enough to get back.
There's your 2 pickoffs. So now the third one, he has to get him, otherwise you get that free 90 feet.
Inching closer to those 2008 Rays, most steals in a single postseason. 1 and 2. He was not running.
I don't think he got a good read off Dunning on that last one.
1-2. Just a little bit low. One more home run for Gabriel Moreno, and he'll tie the all-time record for home runs by a catcher in a single postseason. Sandy Alomar Jr. back in 1997. Two, 3-2.
Well, just the threat of Corbin Carroll at first base. Notice how it sped up the mechanics of Dane Dunning, so he wasn't able to, even though he got him 2 strikes pretty quick, wasn't able to put it away.
And now we know he's going to take off for 2 outs and a full count. Lowe still playing on the bag. There he goes. It's ball 4. Moreno draws the walk. Diamondbacks, they'll take whatever they can get here. They've added to their lead. They're up 4-1. They still have 9 outs to get, though, on the defensive side of the ball against the best offense in the American League this year.
Well, it's taken 3 pitchers so far just to gather 2 outs. And for Christian Walker, here's a chance for him to bust out.
Did he go? Yes, he did. That was a ball, but Walker took a swing. 0-1. Walker 0 for 3. Dunning pitches. Slider off the outside.
Walker's a career .222 hitter with runners in scoring position. This postseason, he's 2 for 12 and 0 for his last 9.
Runners on, runners not on, runners in scoring position. No matter what, he's having a hard time. Hits that one hard, right back to Dunning, who's got it, and he'll flip to first for the out. You can see the frustration with Christian Walker, but a big offensive inning for the Diamondbacks. Thomas got it started. Longoria with the RBI hit. Then Corbin Carroll added on. 7th inning. Arlington, Texas, game 2 of this 2023 World Series. In our game summary, D-backs have the 4-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Merrill Kelly's been awesome. Strikeouts, no walks, 6 innings. Pitched only the 1 run. And Jordan Montgomery's been so good in the playoffs, was not quite as sharp. No strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. Gave up 4 runs. Tommy Pham's 3 for 3. Moreno's got another home run.
I just think as you're watching the Diamondbacks, they don't flinch, much like the Texas Rangers. It's been a really crisp, clean baseball game. To me, it's really started on the mound for the Diamondbacks with Merrill Kelly. He kind of set the tone, and this team was talking about just the confidence that Merrill Kelly has once he starts really feeling himself. He struts around the mound. He kind of carries himself. Look at this. It's easy to get behind a guy when you're starting pitcher. He's kind of leading the group.
Yeah, he's kind of got that look, that strut. Sort of the pitcher version of this guy at the plate when things are going well. Adolis Garcia. Trying to spark a Rangers rally. You love to face him if you're on the other side with a 3-run lead and nobody on base late in the game. That one is a strike. Perfect pitch. It's 1-1. That one's tough to hit.
He's just painting him up. Man, what a sequence. Merrill's he's on both sides of the plate, up and down, fast and slow.
What did Torey Lovello, how did he describe it to us? How Merrill Kelly stopped, pitch to the lines, inside corner, outside corner, up, down. Outside the lines that time. It's 2-2.
Is he asking for another timeout? What's he? No.
Shot foul, and he fell down.
Well, he did a somersault, a cartwheel, avoiding a hit by pitch in the ALCS. It looked like a broken wagon wheel.
Strike 3 call. Right on the outside corner at 94 miles an hour.
Regardless of how hot you are, and El Bombi's as hot as any hitter I've seen in recent memory. But if you're Merrill Kelly, I mean, he is just carving him up. Good pitching can beat good hitting any day of the week.
I mean, it's amazing. Mitch Garver comes up here, and Garver took him deep his last at bat. So that's the one Rangers run. Other than that swing, Rangers have not had a runner get to second base tonight. They've had 0 at bats with a runner in scoring position. That was the 8th strikeout, 4th in a row for Kelly, and he's just rolling right now. It's 0-2.
Kelly gave up 24 home runs this season, including Mitch Garver's tonight. 20 of those are solo shots.
The 0-2. On the ground to third. Longoria right about waist high. 2 outs. Made the point as we started tonight. Last night was about as tough of a loss as you could dream up for a team. Diamondbacks oh so close to grabbing the first game of this World Series, but I mean, they got pummeled in the NLCS 2 games in a row, and everybody said, well, this is an overmatch. They got no chance, and they bounced back, and they came back to Philadelphia and won 2 straight games and beat the Phillies. This is a team that knows how to shake off a tough loss. Ball 2 to Jonah Heim.
Well, they had one of the worst blown save rates in baseball, so they're kind of like a prize fighter. They've taken a lot of gut punches, and they continue to fight back.
2-1.
There's something to be said about teams that, you know what, you want to go through the regular season, have bunch of crushing defeats, because it makes you stronger by the end.
Oh. 3-1. Still haven't seen the bullpen get going for the D-backs. It's only the second 3-ball count for any Texas hitter in this game. Strike 2. 3-run lead. Merrill Kelly, there's no nuance to that one. Here.
He's getting a timeout. I mean, he's used all 6 of his pitches: a cutter, a sinker, a four-seam, a changeup, curveball, slide. I mean, he's using it all.
Three-2. Strike 3 called. Merrill Kelly is pitching a masterpiece, and there's that strut. He's got the swagger going. Brent Strom hasn't had to be, but an unforgettable Game 2 moment.
Feels like we're getting that a little bit with Merrill Kelly tonight.
Yeah. Merrill Kelly's just been awesome. Chris Stratton now, 3rd postseason appearance out of the Rangers pen. The right-hander has had a good long career. Picked up in a trade by Texas to fortify the pen. And this is high to Tommy Pham, ball 1. Montgomery, Heaney, Dunning, and now Stratton for the Rangers. Tommy Pham has not made an out tonight. Swings through that fastball. I guess I should qualify.
Well, yeah.
As a hitter, he hasn't made an out. He got picked off of second base, which was a really weird play. Two.
Well, Stratton's always had a really nice moving fastball and pairs it with the changeup.
Bam stays alive.
There's kind of signaling to Jordan Montgomery, hey, pay attention, you got him picked. And they did.
Ends up play by the catcher. See how far Pham was away. Helped get his pitcher an out. 2-2. Diamondbacks are going to get the bullpen going. It's interesting. What, 89 pitches from Merrill Kelly through 7 dominant innings, but Kevin Ginkel is getting loose. Two. Foul tip. Tortorella talking to Merrill Kelly and the handshake. So I think that gives us all we need to know.
Well, it's 90 pitches in Philadelphia that Merrill Kelly threw, and he was fantastic tonight. Ends up at 89, and he was even better tonight.
Just a terrific performance by Kelly for the count 3-2. Did his job and then some. Nobody other than the home run hitter, solo home run for the only run. Nobody else reached second base against him. And maybe the #1 job. He didn't walk anybody after the Diamondbacks issued 10 walks last night.
Some master class in pitching, speeding up hitters, slowing them down, using every portion of the strike zone.
Pham battling against Chris Stratton. 8th inning. And he lines that one into center field. Another hit for Tommy Pham. We got a 4-hit World Series game. 4 for 4. 2 singles, 2 doubles.
Well, look how quiet he is at the plate. Just a simple rock back, get the foot up, put it right back down, stays within the strike zone. Always had really good plate discipline.
A bunt. Gurriel popped it up. It's going to work. Stratton got the out at first. Very close, but he did keep his calm and get the out. Gurriel maybe still limping a little bit after we saw him up against the wall with that little ankle turn. He's going to head back to the dugout. He does move Tommy Pham into scoring position.
I mean, there's a lot of new school baseball fans of analytics. They're like, what are the Diamondbacks doing? You don't give up free outs. Well, it works. Continue to put pressure on the Rangers defensively. That was half a step away from being a hit for Gurriel.
So now Alec Thomas, 1 out, runner in scoring position, takes the curve for a strike from Stratton.
We've seen 3 sacrifice bunts tonight.
3 by one team in one game.
Old school baseball fan loves it. New school baseball fan closing his eyes like, wow.
You know, those old Diamondbacks in 2001, they had some sluggers. They had Gonzo and Matt Williams and guys who could hit the home run ball, but they used the bunt a lot on that team. Bob Brenly is the manager.
I think it works for certain teams, not all teams. When you have an athletic group like the Diamondbacks, it puts much more pressure on a defense. They also don't pop a ton of homers.
1-2 to Thomas. Alec Thomas has been a big part of this game tonight. In the lineup against the lefty, mostly for his defense. Not a lot of success against left-handers in the regular season. 2 for 3 against Jordan Montgomery. Single, double, run scored. 2-2.
Now last pitch, 93, just stood up. Alec Thomas. 188 batting average against the fastball. You can see it just explodes.
Tommy Pham's got a very short lead at second.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm all right. No, I'm all right. Thank you.
The umpire. So usually it's the umpire checking on the catcher. This one was Jonah Heim checking on Quinn Wolcott. I think we could all hear he's okay.
Yeah, I'm all right. No, I'm all right. Thank you.
Count 3-2. Tommy Pham, second 4-hit game of this postseason. Diamondbacks have 4 as a franchise in their playoff history. He's got 2 of them this year.
He was acquired at trade deadline and ends up being a huge piece for the clubhouse, and they're getting rewarded by his offense too.
3-2. Thomas, another foul ball.
I do love that Tommy Pham's still dancing at second base, almost.
Try it again.
Yeah, let's see. Try it again.
Yeah, nobody picks me off 2 times in a game. Seager trying to keep him close. Now he'll back up. Another 3-2. Thomas spoils another one. Still here, we're in the 8th inning, and the Diamondbacks have not struck out 1 time in this game. They haven't taken a lot of walks, but they have gotten the bat on the ball. Three-two. Strike 3. Got the curve over the outside. There's the first strikeout of the night for Rangers pitching.
I like it. Backdoor curveball. Take a little bit off it. Get a little bit more of the drop on the backside. 81 just perfectly located and well received from Jonah Heim.
Thomas really did not think so. Now with Longoria coming up, they're going to use a pinch hitter for him, Pavin Smith. And I'll allow Emmanuel Rivera to come in the game. I think they feel like Rivera gives a little, they trust Longoria defensively, but maybe a little extra defense at third. Pavin Smith will get his first World Series at bat as a pinch hitter. He hasn't played much, but he's got 3 hits and 9 at bats in these playoffs. Rangers are doing what a lot of teams do, and now they're just stalling for time. Some teams would just automatically have a meeting at the mound if there's a pinch hitter announced. But in this instance, they were just killing a little time and allowing their veteran manager to come out there to make the change. So Martin Perez, the guy who was getting loose, another one-time starter, is going to come in out of the bullpen here in the 8th inning. 4-1 D-backs. Back right after this. Heaney, Dunning, Stratton, and Perez, and all these relievers in the last 2 innings for Texas, trying desperately just to hang around this game. They're down 4-1. Perez, the lefty, who's been a starter for most of his big league career, 2 games out of the pen in these playoffs for the Rangers. Tommy Pham, 4-hit night. He's at second with 2 down, and a second pinch hitter of this sequence, Pavin Smith, doesn't get to swing the bat. Emmanuel Rivera will come in as the counter move. We knew he was going to come in and play defense, so get the righty against the lefty.
Well, Martin a season ago had a career year for himself, and he was throwing cut fastballs under the hands of right-handed batters.
Dirt. So we'll see if he can do that to Rivera, who's really been slumping at the plate. Emmanuel Rivera is a solid player, and he played very well for Team Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. Ended up being a big part of that team. Just hasn't been hitting now going back a couple months.
As that cut fastball in under the hands, and maybe for Rivera, we know these games are seen in Puerto Rico. He gets a little Puerto Rican love.
Martin Perez, who's in that pool in the WBC, pitching for Venezuela. It's quite a scene in Miami with those teams all together.
Amazing environment. What a great tournament.
I mean, it really was. You think back to this year in baseball. Rivera out in front, and it's 3-2. The WBC, the incredible game, Puerto Rico against Dominican Republic, that way the whole thing ended. Ohtani against Trout. All-star game with a dramatic late inning home run that gave the win to the National League. It just feels like we got to get something like that in the World Series, and maybe we will. That's ball 4. Rivera takes the walk. So he's aboard for the switch hitter, the shortstop Perdomo.
Well, he had the instant classic last night, game 1, but now the Diamondbacks, I mean, here's a chance to kind of put this game out of reach.
The only downside to this is it's been a long half inning, and Kevin Ginkel's been out there a long time getting loose. Looks like they're icing their own reliever. Ginkel mostly has been watching. Strike 2.
A little unique for a guy like Martin Perez, who basically threw 141 innings in the regular season. Now you're asking him to pitch in a leverage scenario, the 8th inning.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy's still not using Aroldis Chapman, down by 3 runs. Hit foul down the right field line. We still haven't seen Josh Sborz, who's been one of the best Rangers relievers in these playoffs. Inside.
You got 43,000 umpires, but the one that matters doesn't call it.
Yeah, that umpire said it was a strike, but Quinn Wolcott said ball, and he was right. The 1-2. Take by Perdomo. He just continues. He's had a ground out where really he was robbed by Corey Seager. Excellent play. Base hit and a steal and another sacrifice bunt. He continues to give quality at bats time and again. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 pitch. Again, just inside. And Jonah Heim, I think he knows his pitcher's hot, so he took a couple steps out toward the mound. Wolcott's hearing about it from the Rangers dugout now. Runners go. 3-2 in the dirt, and it kicks away from Heim. Pham came to third thinking, oh, maybe, but Heim found it and got to it. But that's another walk, back-to-back walks after Perez came in the game. Rangers fans are still unhappy. They thought that there was a strikeout there. Jonah Heim, I think, feels the same way. Mike Maddox is going to come out, and this Spilly might be as much just to help Martin Perez just kind of take a deep breath and forget about the umpires' calls, because the bases are loaded and the Diamondbacks are definitely threatening to blow this game open.
They are. Mike Maddox, Doggy, is one of the better pitching coaches in baseball. He also does something. He grounds his pitcher. Notice his right hand is on Martin Perez's shoulder. He does this to every single pitcher. When he first started as a pitching coach, it just connects him. And he's also waiting to talk to Quinn Wolcott.
Yeah, he was going to get a word in. He was going to make sure he stayed out there long enough for the umpire to have to come out and break it up. Asking where that pitch was. He was sure it was on the inside corner. I mean, look, it was very close, but according to the StatCast strike zone, it was off the inside by an inch. Bases loaded. First pitch to Ketel Marte, and that changeup low for ball one.
I could not have worked out any better right now for Torey Lovullo. He wants Ketel Marte facing a left-handed pitcher. This guy's gotten on virtually every postseason game.
Yeah, we got history on the line here because he has not had a hit. He's 0 for 4. He is tied for the longest hit streak in playoff history. And you figure unless the Rangers come back again, he's not going to get another at bat. He lines that one up the middle, base hit. The record's all his own, and it's going to knock in 2 with the slide from Rivera. Ketel Marte, maybe his last chance tonight, makes it 6-1. He's played in 18 career playoff games, and he's gotten at least 1 hit in all of them. Bruce Bochy wants to make sure the call at the plate was the correct one. How about that?
That's just a great piece of hitting. He stays inside of it. Now notice Seager's all the way in that almost the 5.5 hole. He's played to pull. And the reaction from the Rangers, they're still upset. They're hot with a 2-2 pitch that didn't go their way.
It was one of those coin flip kind of pitches. I mean, it definitely could have been called a strike. Now Corbin Carroll, base hit into right field. Another left on left hit. Perdomo coming home. He'll slide in safely ahead of the throw from Garcia. And it's all Diamondbacks now, 7-1 here in the 8th inning. Taking away the possibility of more late inning drama with that last hit. Now the longest postseason hit streak in the history of baseball. So long, Hank Bauer, Derek Jeter, Manny Ramirez. You're in the rearview mirror now. Every playoff game that Ketel Marte has ever played in, he's had at least 1 hit. That's pretty good.
That's historic. That's amazing.
And then another hit from Corbin Carroll on top of it. Strike 1 to the catcher Moreno.
It just goes to show you too just how important these pitches are in the World Series, how that one extra pitch, how it just led to almost a floodgate opening up for the Diamondbacks offensively.
And again, I understand why the Rangers are unhappy.
Sure.
Very close pitch. It was a good pitch, but it wasn't an absolute strike that was called a ball. It was borderline and maybe off the plate by an inch or 2, but 3 runs have scored since that called ball. So from a 4-1 game where, hey, we know we got our big hitters, we're only down 3. Now it's a 6-run Diamondbacks lead. Kevin Ginkel has stopped warming up. Andrew Saalfrank, the lefty, is getting loose. Strike 3 call. And Perez is glaring at the umpire as he walks off the field. Now Moreno's, who's happy with the umpire right now? Nobody. It's kind of part of the job description, isn't it? Ketel Marte, another hit. 13 Diamondbacks hits tonight, midway through 8. They now lead. One highlight for the Rangers, that Mitch Garver home run. Otherwise it's been all Arizona Diamondbacks. This is the pitch that got everybody hot here. And look, I mean, it was close, it was borderline, but it was off the plate inside. Not by much.
Not by much.
And but it was a ball.
Quinn Walcott was the #1 umpire in Major League Baseball as far as accuracy over the course of this year. He was #1.
after that call did not. That would have been strike 3, out 3, inning over, 4-1 Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks after that got 3 runs, and that's what made everybody especially unhappy. Emmanuel Rivera, very modest, doesn't like to attract attention to himself with that necklace he's got. Out there at third in to play defense, and Andrew Saalfrank, the new pitcher. No Ginkel with a 7-1 lead. Hard hit by Lowe, but right to second, 1 out.
Well, how about Saalfrank threw in 10 regular season games in this postseason? Now it's his 9th. And he just came on the scene. Mike Hazen was talking about him earlier. They weren't expecting to carry 3 left-handed relievers in their bullpen, but with Saalfrank, it's really heavy sinking movement. And what he did during September in those 9-10 games, it proved, hey, keep him on the roster.
Yeah, they needed him big time. He came through. Josh Young 1 for 2. All these Diamondbacks hitters who've had 5 at bats in the game. Josh Young until now has only had 2. 2-0 from Saalfrank.
Yeah, the only challenge with Saalfrank right now is you don't want to give up any extra traffic to get any sort of hope for the Rangers. You just want to fill up the strike zone.
On the ground to third, backhanded by Rivera, just in the game, winds up and throws him out. That's why he's in there for defense.
Well, there you go, suffocating defense. You want it late in the game to protect the lead. Just to give you an idea, you start hitting the ball hard and they're outs. It's the confidence you have as a pitcher to just throw strikes. You know your defense will make a play even if you're wearing 2 or 3 necklaces.
The outside, called a strike. Okay, he's not perfect.
Oh, the necklace thing turned into something.
Yeah.
If you're around the Diamondbacks clubhouse, virtually all the guys have brand new necklaces.
Different than Jock Peterson a couple years ago with the pearls in Atlanta. I don't know what those are.
But they're all wearing them. They all have their own different flair.
That's a lot of diamonds. Who's to say whether they're real or Geraldo Perdomo. He's going multiple necklace. 2-2. It's a tight-knit group. You sort of have to be to get this far. It's amazing you and I get a chance to be around these players before the games. On the ground, backhanded by Perdomo, stands up, low throw, and Walker somehow stretches out and kept his foot on the bag. What a play. He may not be hitting, but his defense is so good at first.
Well, Leote runs exceptionally well. He's a center fielder. And Perdomo, the ball gets kind of a little bit stuck in his glove and his webbing.
They are going to challenge.
Yeah, right. Oh, he is definitely on the bag. What a play.
He's out, isn't he? That is just a great play. That's why the Diamondbacks had so few errors this year. Christian Walker saved a lot of them for his infielders. That call's going to be upheld. That's just an awesome play over. And it was good effort by Perdomo too.
Now he's getting hugs right now. Walker's getting a hug, and look, they know you want to do something offensively, but what he's doing defensively.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is out. Texas has 1 challenge remaining.
Well, the fans don't like it, but he was out. So that's a 1-2-3 inning for Saalfrank with a lot of help from his Diamondbacks defense. It's been all Arizona here in Texas tonight. Game 2 of this World Series. We'll go to the 9th inning.
The finalists, give you an idea, outs above average. This is how good the Diamondbacks are. They were .990 fielding percentage, but they were tops in baseball, outs above average. Christian Walker at first base, +12.
So for all their great defense, I mean, look, you might say, and maybe you could argue that first base isn't quite as high impact of a defensive position as catcher, shortstop, center field, but he shines the brightest of all those defensive stars that the Diamondbacks have. And now he just needs to get the bat going again. He took a fastball from Martin Perez for strike one.
You see this all the time, Dave. If somebody makes a sparkling defensive play, they usually lead off the next inning, and sometimes they end up rewarding themselves with a hit.
One and two. The pitch. Walker, line drive, center field, base hit. He earned that one.
Funny how it works.
He earned it. Hey, feel good. Hey, dig me. I'm good again. And then you swing the bat.
He's asking for the ball. Well, Tommy Pham told Torey Lovullo he was upset when he was benched earlier in the postseason. He said, Torey, I'm one at bat away from getting hot, which is why Torey Lovullo decided not to bench or move Christian Walker down in the lineup. Of course, Tommy Pham has 4 hits tonight, and maybe this will get it going for Christian Walker because he was one of the best offensive first basemen in baseball.
Yeah, one of the best. Snapped an 0 for 13. Ball one. To Jace Peterson, who's hitting here for Tommy Pham, who finishes a perfect 4 for 4. Jace Peterson, chance to hit in the World Series. Now a swing, old Blue foul. Not got to play.
Well, Jace was on the Oakland A's earlier in the season, ended up signing a 2-year contract. And when he was traded, he talked about his time in Oakland, about how it's just like a challenge, especially you get certain nights there's a big crowd, next day you don't. But for Peterson to come and join this Arizona Diamondbacks team, it says all the years of what he's learned has really helped out.
2-1. I bet you, look, the Diamondbacks do not have a reputation like the Phillies fans or even like these Texas fans of having big loud crowds in Phoenix. I bet you 2 nights from now, Chase Field's going to be rocking. The Diamondbacks, in theory, assuming they finish this game off here in the 9th inning, might not have to come back. They could win a World Series championship without leaving home again.
That stadium's also one of the biggest stadiums in baseball, capacity-wise.
If they keep the roof closed, then it can be really loud. Fastball high. Weather forecast is supposed to be beautiful, so it'd be interesting to see whether they would keep that roof closed or not. But what an answer from the Diamondbacks here tonight. Big chopper. Simeon charges from second, and he'll get the out at second. Forces out Walker with a nice play.
Almost a bad decision for Marcus just because he has to throw the ball over Christian Walker. There's a lot of chance for a mistake. He might as well just take the out at first. He'll take the lead out. That one could have turned into a bad play.
I think the pitcher always appreciates it, though, when you make the effort to keep that guy out of scoring position. But you're right. Gurriel. Well, for all the offense for the Diamondbacks, Lourdes not shy. His necklaces aren't maybe quite as conspicuous as Emmanuel Rivera's. The hair, though, is. And the outfit choices, that red carpet at the All-Star game, the vest. I want to see that leather vest. Bill Miller.
I just want to know how often he gets it dyed purple. Does a good job. I love seeing it. My kids love it.
Yeah.
I think he looks like one of those lucky trolls.
I mean, he would be a lot of kids' favorite player, you figure, just with the look. Center field, and it's going to get down, base hit. Gurriel kind of bloops one in. That's his second hit of the game, on base for the third time. He also has a sacrifice bunt. Everybody contributing for the Diamondbacks. And I know the offense, they've got 7 runs on the board, swinging the bats well, drawing some walks. But really, the story in a lot of ways tonight, 15 hits, is Merrill Kelly. 7 innings, 1 run, not a single walk. After issuing 10 walks last night, the Diamondbacks haven't given up a free base runner all game. Chopper toward the middle. Seager take the out at first. The other runners move up.
What I loved about Merrill Kelly's night tonight, pitch efficiency. Used 89 pitches, but also every single one of them. Here's the 9 punch outs. Used the 4-seamer 3 times, 2 cut fastballs, a slider, a changeup, a curveball, a sinker, the kitchen sink. While you were watching it, you could tell from the very beginning he had good command of the changeup, would set up all the other pitches.
2 on 2 out. Rivera. Big swing and miss. All right, we're cherry picking a little bit, but 7 innings or more pitched in the World Series, 3 or fewer hits, 9 or more strikeouts, and no walks. So very few hits, a lot of strikeouts, no walks, at least 7 innings. Roger Clemens, Clayton Kershaw, Merrill Kelly. Wow. It may not be Evan Carter with Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio, but it's pretty close. Two and 1.
Those are the things about World Series and history and context when you start having these nights, and you don't realize it at the start of the night.
That's another hit for Rivera and the Diamondbacks. 1 run is in. The throw cut off. And they've got Rivera hung up in a rundown. 2 runs are going to score. Presumably they're going to get Emmanuel Rivera out. They finally do for out number 3, but not before the Diamondbacks tack on 2 more runs. Rivera has made an impact since coming in this game. Top of the order is coming up for the Rangers, but now an even taller task because the Diamondbacks going to the bottom of the 9th have a 9-1 lead. Incredible come from behind win for the Rangers last night. You thought maybe some hangover for the Arizona Diamondbacks into game 2. What a performance tonight by the D-backs. 9 runs, 16 hits. They've almost completely shut down this incredibly powerful Rangers offense. 1 runner to second base all game. That was the solo home run. That's it for the Rangers. Now the top of the order, Semien, Seager, Carter. 1 last shot, but down 8.
Momentum is always next day's starting pitcher.
It certainly held true here. Down the left field line toward the corner, but hooking foul. Not much foul ground as you get down the line in this park. Well, for Texas, I mean, this isn't at bat here in a 9-1 game where you could say Marcus Semien needs something positive. Maybe not quite to the degree of Christian Walker, but it's getting there. Really good player. Very important player for the Rangers who's just not hitting.
He's not hitting at all. He's been hitting the ball hard, but he has 0 results. And a lot of his at-bats have been empty, quick outs.
Behind 0-1 against Saul Frank. Skip that one in. So look, you can find little victories even in a game like this. If Marcus Semien hits a line drive somewhere, get on the airplane tomorrow, fly to Phoenix, maybe feeling a little bit better about things. Almost like he jammed himself there. 1 and 2. On the ground toward the middle, through. So he hit it hard enough and he gets himself a base hit. Who knows? I guarantee you Bruce Bochy's happy to see that.
He is happy to see that. So is Marcus.
Doesn't he look thrilled?
Yeah, that's the look of a player that knows it's coming at some point.
So now Seager 0 for 3 tonight. Only the 4th hit for the Rangers all game. Seager to center field and deep. Thomas sprinting back. Thomas will make the catch. He got a good read, good jump, and he tracked it down.
He grew up because his father was a longtime strength and conditioning coach of the Chicago White Sox. He actually has a photo, Alec Thomas does, when he was 5 years old with the 2005 Chicago White Sox World Series trophy. He has been roaming Major League outfields since he was a kid. And that's just all in a day's work for him. No problem.
Made that look easy. So now Robbie Grossman will get an at bat against Saul Frank with 1 out. Chance for Grossman to get into a game in this World Series. Take a swing.
A chance for Torey Lovullo to bring in his biggest chain guy.
Yeah. So Frias will come in. Saul Frank out. Frias is going to try to get the final 2 outs when we come back. From taking game 2, game 3 in Phoenix on Monday night. Max Scherzer will get the ball for Texas. Those are his numbers between the Mets and the Rangers. Brandon Pfaadt, who's become a really great story. Scherzer is coming back from injury, hasn't pitched well in just 6 2/3 innings in the playoffs. Brandon Pfaadt, he's been, other than Merrill Kelly, he's been the best starter for the D-backs.
Pretty amazing to his journey. At the start of the year, he never thought he was going to be pitching game 3 of the World Series. Last night, we were on field doing some interviews, and Max Scherzer was in the bullpen, throwing his bullpen. This is just moments after just a wild ending last night, game 1.
Yeah, so he was sort of on call in case that extra inning game went even longer. He was available to pitch in the game last night. Once he didn't get in the game, he wanted to get a little more work in to start to make his preparations to start the game on Monday night. Luis Frias in from the Arizona bullpen, 3rd pitcher of the night for the D-backs. 4 appearances in the postseason so far. Big, strong dude out on the mound.
Former 3rd baseman. Sometimes you'll see these position players get on the mound and their actions look like a position player throwing, and there's a benefit to it. I mean, Frias, when he was signed out of the Dominican Republic, it was for $50,000 as a 3rd baseman. I think doesn't hit very well, goes on the mound, it's 99. You're a pitcher.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Why don't we try that a little more? Strike 3 called. He went with the breaking ball and he backdoored Robbie Grossman. The Rangers are down to their final out. And unless they can get Marcus Semien into scoring position, they will go an entire World Series game without a single at bat with a runner in scoring position. That doesn't happen very often. Game 4 in 2017. Last time a team had a game in the World Series without an at bat with a runner in scoring position. Adolis Garcia trying to keep the game alive for Texas. And Frias, that has to be a balk, right?
Now, because he did throw it. I think they're trying to decide if he actually stepped over enough.
Okay, so he stepped over and actually made a legal throw, even though Christian Walker was 35 feet from first base. There goes Semien, and it's pulled foul. You don't see that every day.
No, and if Adolis would have let the last ball go through, Marcus would have gotten to second base on defensive indifference, which is one of my favorite things that happen in baseball.
It is.
You finally get somebody at second base.
Yeah. Just mark that down. Ryan Spilborghs loves defensive indifference. There you go. Totally, completely, 100% indifferent.
You can hear the cheer in Texas. They love it too.
So now you get a runner in scoring position. 3-1. Well, Frias does not want to walk. As hot as Garcia is, it's 9-1 with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Isn't that amazing? 14 at bats with a runner in scoring position for the D-backs tonight. Until now, 0 for Texas. That's ball 4. Well, that just can't happen.
That ruins our scorecard. There's no walks tonight. And now you get one.
Look, there's the first one issued by the Diamondbacks pitching after the Rangers drew 10 of them in game 1. Maybe part of this is even in a blowout game, some World Series nerves for Frias, but he's all over the place right now. Not only missing the strike zone, he threw just an incredibly weird throw over to first with Christian Walker nowhere near the bag. I think that's got him a little rattled.
You might as well get it out of your system. I mean, every player wants to get into the World Series and play, and here comes Brent Strom just to settle him down. Settle down the big right-hander.
You think we're going to get a hand on the shoulder, Mike Maddox style, from Brent Strom?
No, with a different personality.
Look at me. Oh, we got 2 hands. Ooh. He didn't tackle him, but he did almost everything else. That was a stern talking to. He wanted to make sure there was going to be some eye contact. All right, for Merrill Kelly. Now just waiting for the final out. There's a strike. Road win percentage in a postseason for all teams combined. It's kind of amazing, isn't it? So far, this has been the winningest postseason ever for road teams. 2-2. Frias almost fell down after throwing that fastball.
Well, the Rangers on the road, they're undefeated.
Texas has been amazing away from home. 2-2. That one is lined to third, caught by Rivera. Game over. Merrill Kelly was the star of the Diamondbacks offense with 9 runs and 16 hits. And I give this Diamondbacks team so much credit after the gut punch of last night. They came back in a huge way to even this series up at 1 game apiece.
Well, it gives you such a good idea of the type of personalities these teams have. I mean, they are nonstop. It feels evenly matched. It really does. You get good quality starting pitching from the Diamondbacks. They had timely hitting, and then they came back to win. While we're watching these teams go back and forth, you understand it is boiling down to a pitch sequence, a walk, a 2-out hit. All those things add up, which makes this series so exciting.
And what did that last graphic tell us? I think we got a real toss-up series now. It could be anybody's world championship. The Diamondbacks with a really impressive all-around performance. They dominated a good Texas Rangers team. Torey Lovello's club with a 9-1 victory here in Texas. Well, Rangers fans were thinking, okay, here we go after last night's come-from-behind win, but it was not to be. Gabriel Moreno with a big home run. The young catcher's been a star in the playoffs. There's your Rangers highlight. Mitch Garver, he went deep. After that, it was all Diamondbacks between Thomas and Longoria, Marte, Corbin Carroll. A 9-1 victory for the D-backs to even this World Series 1 game apiece. For Ryan Spilborghs and our whole crew, Dave Fleming saying good night.